In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can connect together your granny squares using an invisible seam. All you will need is your granny squares, a darning needle and some yarn. I'm going to be using a contrasting colour for my project today. However, you would use something that corresponds nicely to your squares. So for example, these two are the same colour, so I would use the same colour that I have used for the squares. If you're using two different colours, then just go for one which matches both of them. Okay, so I'm going to begin by threading up my darning needle. And we're going to start off by having our squares with right side facing up, and then you're just going to fold them together so that the right sides are facing each other, so the wrong sides are now outwards. We're going to work along this seam with this technique, and what you want to do is just be aware of the corresponding stitches in each of the squares. So for example, the corner here, we are going to look for that central chain of the corner, and we're going to be working into the back loops of each stitch. So if I just pick a stitch here, you can see this is the top of the stitch, and you have the front loop of the stitch and the back loop. We're going to be working into the back loop only. Now remember, we actually have the wrong sides facing us, so the back loop is facing us here, and then the back loop is facing away from us on this back square. So for example, this would be the back loop rather than this one, and then this would be the back loop rather than this one. So first of all, we're going to find that chain, that central chain from the corner, and we'll go into the back loop of this stitch, and then we'll find the central chain of the corner of this square and go into the corresponding back loop. So insert your needle and then pull it through. We're then going to come back to this front square and go through the back loop of the next stitch, and then the back loop of the back square, and pull that through like so. Remember, I've said that I'm using a contrasting colour just so you can see a little bit better. Yours will be disguised. So the most important thing is that you are working into the corresponding stitches. So I'm going to go into the back loop of the next stitch and the corresponding one of the back square, and pulling through into the back loop, into the back loop, and pull through. You're simply going to do this all the way across. You can of course use some clips if you feel that that's going to make it easier for you in keeping everything all lined up, but you just want to slowly work your way across that square. So once you've worked about halfway down, you want to go ahead and pull on your yarn just to make sure that's nice and tight, and then you can continue right the way to the end. So I'm going to go in the back loop and in the back loop and pull through all the way to the very end. Once you get to these last few stitches, don't forget to work into your chain as well. So if you've done a chain 3 in the corner, you want to work all the way until that center chain of that chain 3 for the corner, and then you can go ahead and pull nice and tight again on this side. So when you open it up, you can see that I have the contrasting colour coming through there, but if you use something which is much more suited to the colour choice that you have for your squares, you won't see it at all, and it just gives a really nice look to your work. Obviously that you would then do that for corresponding squares. I would suggest that you do the squares in a row and then do the line of squares together. But there you go, that is the invisible seam for your crochet. I really hope that you have enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with all of my latest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you again next time. Bye!